Hey, what's happening, friends? I'm back with another recipe for you. It's hot as hell out there, and all day all I was thinking about was coming home and having a cold one, and I really wanted some tacos. Tonight what I decided to do is my version of puff tacos. If you've thought that there's only been two kinds of tacos out there, you're missing at least one. You got your hard taco, you got your soft taco. But a puff taco is actually a masa harina that you press your own tortillas. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then you fry them on both sides, put a dimple in one, or you can just open them up and serve it open face. And it's absolutely delicious. Well, I'm going to fill it with, you can fill it with ground beef, shredded chicken, carnitas, whatever you want. Tonight I'm going to do my version of a chipotle chicken with a little bit of chorizo in there. So what my sauce is going to consist of is 4 cloves of garlic that's been minced up, 1 cup of an onion of your choice. I'm using a small bulb white onion, a half cup of brown chorizo that I did beforehand, 3 or 4 chipotle peppers in an adobe sauce. Chipotle peppers, all they are roasted jalapenos canned in an adobe sauce. I'm going to have a half a cup of cilantro, 4 tablespoons of sofritos. If you're not familiar with sofritos, check it out. It is a tomato-based sauce. It's got peppers, onions, tomatoes, and other spices that goes great on chicken, steak, you name it. Grilled vegetables, it's really good on too. We're going to put 2 teaspoons of just plain old yellow mustard, a cup and a half of chicken broth, a half cup of orange juice, and then 1 cup of your favorite lager. I would go light with it. Because they're tacos, I'm going to use good old Modelo. The first thing that we're going to do is assemble this sauce. We're going to put the chicken in it, let it cook for 20 to 30 minutes, shred it up, put it back in the sauce, and then we'll get those tortillas or puff taco shells fried up. First thing you're going to do is get your pan heated up. You can use a Dutch oven or just use a really nice sized pot. Everything cooking nicely. Get some oil in there. About 2 tablespoons. Get your garlic in there. Your onion. Your chipotle peppers and that sauce. And go ahead and stop there with the ingredients for a minute and let that stuff cook down just a little bit. Really only 2 or 3 minutes will be just fine. Automatically you're going to smell those chipotle peppers, that garlic and that onion, and my goodness, it smells great. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Go ahead and put this on. I've got it about medium high right now, and then I'll bring it down because I want these to render down pretty quick so I can get everything else in. Like I said, you can fill these tacos with any kind of meat or filling that you like. I'm just doing shredded chicken tonight because it sounded good, and this particular version of this chipotle shredded chicken is absolutely delicious. I think you guys will love it. Alright, right now I'm going to go ahead and add the chorizo. Let that incorporate for a minute. Once we incorporate everything, I'm going to turn it on to high, let it boil. Once it starts to boil, I'm going to bring it down, add my chicken, down to medium, add my chicken, and let it cook for about 20 or 30 minutes with the lid off because I want this sauce to reduce. So we're going to put the shredded chicken back in there when it's time. For this, I use about a pound, maybe a pound and a half of chicken. That's going to give you about 8 servings. Which is all I need for this evening. Alright, it's time to add everything else. Let's get the sofritos in there. cilantro, our yellow mustard, put our Modelo Especial in there. The smell in this kitchen is fabulous right now, guys. You got to try this out. Get our chicken broth in there and our orange juice. Crank that guy up to high. When I come back, I'll get this chicken in here and I'll show you how to prepare the masa balls so you can press them out into the tortillas and how to fry them so you can get yourself a nice puffy taco in the end. So we'll be right back. Alright y'all, we're back. We're ready to get this thing going. Our sauce has been cooking for about 15 minutes, so everything is married together really well. So we're going to go ahead and put our chicken in and let this cook for another about 15-20 minutes, and it should be good because we're going to crank that heat up. Crank that heat up to medium high. Since you put that cold meat in there, it's going to drop the temperature of the sauce right away. Alright, and the next thing we need to do is get this masa ready. Puff tacos, all it is masa harina and tepid water. And tepid is just a fancy word for lukewarm water. I'm only going to make a few servings. Anytime you buy a package of masa, it's going to have directions on it how to prepare it. Now, I'm going to use 1 cup of masa and about 3/4 cup to a cup of water. It all depends. You're just going to have to mix the consistency and wait till it pulls away from the bowl. I hear a lot of times when people are making this say it's too dry or this and that. Well, add a little bit more water then. You just want a nice consistency there. So what you're gonna do is mix all this together. You're gonna form little balls about ping pong golf ball size, and then you're gonna press them out. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right, so get you a decent sized mixing bowl. Right here I have 1 cup of masa. We're gonna add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And a lot of people are going to say you're putting pepper in your tortillas. Whatever, I do what I want. I like it. Okay. Chicken's boiling away over here. Let's turn that down. It's reducing nice. Man, if you guys could smell the aroma in this kitchen, it's unbelievable. Okay, so we've got our masa ready. Let's go ahead and get us some tepid water or lukewarm, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and start out with 3/4 cup. Just pour it right into the masa. You're going to get your fingers dirty. That's okay. That's what it takes. If it's too dry, add a little bit more water. If it's too wet, add a little bit more masa. What you want to do is you want to be able to twirl around, turn it, pinch it together. You want it to release from the sides. See this right here where it makes just clumps that are falling apart? We need a little bit more water. So in this instance, we're probably going to use about a cup of masa to a cup of water, which is not uncommon. Roll it around the bowl. It's all pulling away nicely. Flip that guy over. As you can see, as I roll it around the bowl, it's forming a ball. That tells me that we have exactly what we want. Alright, so let's let that sit there for a second. Wash up. Now what I'm going to do is actually grab a couple paper towels, wet them down, and cover this ball of masa so it doesn't dry out while we're preparing the tortillas individually. so that's not going to dry out. Check on our chicken. Looking beautiful. Our oil is right at 350. It is a good frying temperature for this. You can go up to 375, and I probably will just because it gives it a little extra crisp. But these shells are just out of sight. When you put this filling in and everything on top, pretty incredible. Okay, so if you don't have a tortilla press or anything like that, you can use a multitude of things to press these things out. One of the easiest ways to do it is take a 1 gallon Ziploc baggie, cut the sides, so basically you have 2 sides to this thing. Set that down. You can use a plate, you can use a rolling pin, you can use whatever you want. Because I do good ass food videos, I'm going to do my version of this. Alright, so let's come in here and get about a golf ball sized ball there. Roll that around to where it incorporates so it doesn't separate a lot when you start to press it out. Open up your Ziploc baggie, put it right in the middle, press it down just a little bit. Put it over, and then grab yourself a rolling pin or a plate or anything else. I'm going to actually use an empty Modelo bottle. Why not? We're making tacos. And just roll that around. You want to smash this down to about a 1/4 inch consistency all the way around on the masa. It's going to give you about a 6-inch tortilla or so, which is perfect because we're going to serve these open face. All right. Open that up. Pretty up the edges a little bit because I'm a little OCD. Why not? Okay. Okay, we already know that we're at about 350. I'm going to remove the thermometer. Slowly put this into your oil. I've got about 1 inch of oil in here. If your oil doesn't boil immediately and bubble up, it's not hot enough. Since I just dropped it, I've got a bunch of bubbles. It's boiling nicely. I am going to crank this guy up just a little bit because I know the temperature dropped. We're going to cook this on this side for about 3 to 4 minutes. We're going to flip it over and press down into the center of it to either fold it or crack the center. I'm going to crack the center because we're actually going to fill it with the chicken and then top it with all of our side items. While you're doing this, like always, think of your next step. Keep this covered up. Let's go ahead and just get our next masa ball going. Perfect. Roll that guy out. We're going to add a little bit more to that. At this point, your hands shouldn't be getting too sticky because that masa has incorporated. Got you another good size masa ball there. Put it in the center of your Ziploc, press down. Take your rolling pin or your Modelo bottle, roll that out. Twist it from side to side. You want to keep somewhat of a good circle just so it cooks evenly and it looks cooler that way. Alright, and that guy's ready to throw into the oil as soon as this one's done. What's going to happen is the masa is going to cook on one side. It's going to trap the air in. Go ahead and take a spoon and baste the top of this tortilla. So you're cooking the outside too, so it does trap that air in there and puffs up, hence the puffy tacos. Baste that, you put this in for 3 to 4 minutes. Go ahead and baste this for a couple minutes on this side. Be careful, the oil is very hot. Should probably use a little deeper pan than I'm using, but whatever, it's what I had, and it's what we're going to do. Check on it periodically. See if it's getting nice and golden brown on that bottom side. Oh, you should smell this chicken. You guys have to try this recipe. I'm telling you, it's dynamite. Stir that up. Baste it a little bit more. Be sure you keep your oil at temperature. Check it. Check it as many times as you want. I check often. You want to stay around 350 or higher. You get lower, it's going to take longer to brown up, and you don't want your tortillas tasting like oil. Starting to get a nice golden brown on that side. We can go ahead and come in with our other shell here in a second. We're going to let that cook a little bit more. I use a pair of tongs for this. Go ahead and flip this guy over. We're going to let that cook for about 2 or 3 more minutes. And I'm going to press down in the center of it right now. Lift up on the sides a little bit. Give it a bowl shape. It'll probably break the center of it. That's fine. We're going to fill that with the fillings. Alright, while that one's cooking, let's drop this next one in. Got about a 6-inch tortilla there. Slowly lower that into the oil. Turn up the heat a little bit, because like I said, the second you drop it in, it is going to drop the temperature of the oil. 3 to 4 minutes on this side. Check it, make sure it's nice and golden brown. Flip it over in about 2 to 3 minutes on that other side. Be good to go. I always have a plate with paper towels on the side. Now when you pick these guys up, be sure that you get all the oil out of them, because it's going to fill up. So hold them up on their side and let the oil drain out before you put it on there. Remember to baste your tortilla as soon as you put it in. That's what's going to help puff it up. If you don't baste this other side, it's just going to be a flat tortilla. Then we wouldn't have puffed tacos. Alright, we're going to take this one out. Let that drain off. Continue basting. Check that underside. Still got a little bit to go. Give our chicken a stir. And it's looking beautiful. Alright, so that's only got a little bit more time. Let's get another tortilla ball going. Got a little bit more to it. Be sure to keep your masa covered up with a wet paper towel. It'll dry up in a heartbeat on you. You don't want that because you won't be able to press it out properly. And roll it out good. If you have any creases, as soon as you go to press it, you're going to have a split right there. I almost had one. Press that guy down. Looks like we're about ready to turn over here. Not just yet. Alright, so everything's done at this point. Our chicken's been shredded. Put a little bit of that sauce over the top. Our puff shells are ready to be filled. You can top these however you'd like, whether it's just, you know, standard taco toppings. I'm going to use a little baby tomato, cilantro, white cabbage. Yes, white cabbage. There's a reason for that. It adds crunch. Queso fresco, squeeze a lime, and then some fresh jalapeno. Let me load this thing up and show you what it looks like. Smells fantastic. I cannot wait to bite into these. Some tomatoes on there. I'm actually going to put a little more sauce that it's stewed in, just because it's so delicious. That'll kind of replace the salsa. A little bit of cabbage on each one. Squeeze of lime. Gotta have cilantro when you're making tacos, right? Some cilantro. A couple fresh jalapenos on each one. A little bit of queso fresco. You can use a mild feta if you like, or you can use cheddar, whatever you like. This is just what I like to use, and it's good. And there you have it, my version of puff tacos with a chipotle shredded chicken and the toppings that I like. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, all the reviews, all the comments. Be sure to check out my YouTube page, and I love y'all.